Hey guys, this is GreenX here. Just kind of a follow-up video to my GR42 attempts that I recorded with OBS. That was just kind of me testing OBS and just seeing how it works. I might make videos in the future as well, since OBS it seems to work pretty well and it's kind of cool making videos of my own gameplay. But yeah. I just wanted to talk about how I approached ponies this season. Um, leading up to this point, anyways, we're about a week away from them introducing the new patch that's going to change everything. Um, and they're going to introduce ancient legendaries, and they're going to change G-Rifts, and pretty much everything I did this season is going to be somewhat obsolete. It's kind of a shame because I have been really successful on the leaderboards this season. I still have the #1 solo barb spot in North America. I have the Crusader spot, which is #1 in the world, and I have some other spots as well. But it is what it is. I'm a little bit upset, and I know a lot of other people that I've been playing with are really upset with the changes that Blizzard is making. But I just kind of wanted to talk about the way that I was approaching it this season, and a lot of the stuff that I'm going to say is going to be applicable to post-patch, and also going to be therefore applicable to everything in season 2 as well. So anyways, I'm just going to talk about my skills and talk about how like my gear as well, and kind of the stuff I changed because it is hardcore. For you guys that are playing hardcore, I'll just talk about the gear changes that you need to make if you're looking at the softcore profiles. Yeah, so let's just get to it. This is right here. This is not the gear that I was using to do the GR42s. This is kind of my backup stuff that I've just been experimenting with. I don't know. It's not. I mean, obviously, like I'm not even running a Unity. This is just kind of the gear I farm with. Although a lot of these pieces are pretty good as well. The furnace is not very good at all, but yeah. Anyways, yeah, this is the actual furnace I use for pushing in GRs. This is close to an ideal roll for what you want. These are these are the affixes that you want it to roll. You don't want percent damage, I don't think. Percent damage, like in softcore, I know that strength percent damage in the cooldown and like high base damage roll is the ideal roll for a furnace, but in hardcore, I don't think that's the case. 1,000 of it is just it's just too good. I think this is what you want. And yeah, unfortunately, this rolled low elite damage, so it is kind of what it is, and that's kind of a big deal. But overall, this is a very good furnace, and I'm pretty happy with it. Gloves I use, pretty good gloves. Crit damage, crit chance. Alternatively, you can run strength, crit chance, cooldown, and then vit. 750 vit is nothing to laugh at. It's a lot of mitigation, and yeah, like this is only 34 critical hit damage, so it's not an enormous damage boost by any means. So running like 700 something vit, as opposed to this, might be good as well if you're running into survivability issues. Again, it just depends on like how comfortable you feel. I also run a DPS helmet with phalanx damage, crit chance, and strength. This is a decent roll, could be rolled better. The chest I use is really good. This is a really nicely rolled chest. Ideally, you wouldn't have resist all on your chest. You would want reduced from elites because it is better. But this one I got lucky enough to be able to roll reduced from ranged attacks, which is it's just a really, really good stat, especially for ponies, because most of the damage that you're going to be taking is going to be from ranged. So this is like, if you have no other reduced from range, this is almost as good as having 7% extra toughness. Not quite as good, but you know what I mean. This is a big deal. A lot of the nasty affixes like arcane, fire chains, mortar, jailer. There's some others I'm forgetting. Are all counted as ranged. So you want range reduction wherever you can get it. It's a very good stat. Standard boots, nothing really to say here. These are just pretty good boots. On the shoulders, you want these stats. Again, not much to say about the shoulders either. Obviously, you want strong arm bracers. These are okay. These could be better. Nothing too special. On the shield, shields are very tricky to get a good one. This is the one I use. This is a very DPS heavy oriented shield. Let's see. I think I have this shield as well. This is also a very good shield. These are the two best shields I've pretty much had all season. I've been gambling shields for the vast majority of the season. I'm not really exactly sure how many blood shards I've spent on shields alone, but I know I have, close to 500,000 blood shards collected this season. So I'm guessing, maybe a third of those were spent on shields, or at least that's what it feels like. I don't really have the data to say, but these are very tough to roll. So yeah. Um, that being said, this is close to the ideal roll. Instead of the socket, I would rather have phalanx damage. Alternatively, you can run like a strength vit, crit chance, and phalanx damage if you for instance have a really good flavor of time that has CDR on it, or if you somehow have Gogok or whatever and you find a way to bridge the gap that way with Akrats. I'll talk about a little bit about the amount of CDR that I run in a bit, but potentially that could be a good shield as well. But both these shields are kind of like what you're looking for. Crit chance is mandatory, strength is mandatory, CDR is very good, close to. I mean, I would say it's from all the builds that I've tested, I have needed CDR on my shield. I know that you can kind of get away with not having it though, depending on how you structure your gear. But for the most part, it's very very good. So yeah, this is the shield I run. If I have run to survivability issues, I'm gonna run this shield. But I don't know. I like having the extra damage, and I just kind of YOLO it up, and whatever happens, happens. I'm pretty comfortable playing ponies after playing them for close to 500 hours, so I'm not especially worried about dying. This is the amulet I run. This is like a really good roll. Could be better actually. Could be physical, crit chance, and crit damage, but this is good enough. I run this Unity. Nothing special. Not too much to be said. I run it because of the CDR. It's the only CDR Unity I've seen all the season, so I'll be kind of upset if I die with this, and it'll be pretty much GG for the season. But I'm lucky to have it right now. This is the Stone Jordan I use. Again, very good Stone Jordan. Not much to say. I perhaps would like a CDR one, but unfortunately I have not had the luxury of owning one this entire season. So this is the gear setup that I've managed to collect, and I've kind of made it work. I overall with this gear I have 53% CDR, and then I run Gogok to bridge the gap and get to up to 56. You actually don't need 53. It's just kind of a safety net that I use. I could actually drop 8 CDR in one slot and I would be at 49.22%, I think. And if I do that, I can still maintain full uptime on Akrats as long as I have 15 stacks of Gogok. But if I don't have 15 stacks of Gogok, then I will not have Akrats, and then I could very easily just like get one shot by stuff. So I don't know. It is what it is. If you're comfortable with playing for it with 49%, then try it. That's where you're kind of gonna have. You're gonna make the best use of Gogok. You're gonna take full advantage of it. But yeah, keep in mind it is hardcore, and you do have to consider like survivability, and yeah, 49% is very YOLO. I won't lie. I've tested it out, and yeah, I don't feel comfortable with it. So yeah, the skills I use are pretty self-explanatory. This is basically a copy of the stuff that they use in softcore for high GRs. It's not very different at all actually. I use charged up. You could use too scared to run, but it's just really not that good, I don't think. I mean, it does apply to the other stuff. It doesn't apply to the mobs you're hitting. It just applies to the stuff around you. Um, and generally there's not going to be anything around you. I know that a lot of people ran this at the beginning of the season, but everyone switched to charged up. Just a little bit more damage with charged up. And none of the other runes make any sense as far as I'm concerned. I run endurance. This is arguable. You can run rejuvenation. You can maybe run draw and quarter. I know some people have been testing this, and I don't know. I don't know if they have had success with it or not. But endurance is very good. You get a lot more uptime on your horse, and I am skipping a lot of stuff in GR, high GRs, because a lot of stuff is not worth killing just because it takes so long. You need to kill pockets of density. So yeah, and endurance helps out a lot with that. You overall, by the time you're done with the rift, this has saved you a decent amount of time. I don't think you need the sustain from rejuvenation. I just don't think you need it. I think it's a crutch, and I think you can do without it. So, I mean, I suppose if you're running into survivability issues, sort of sustain issues somehow, then rejuvenation might be good. But for the most part, you're just going to be getting bursted down, and sustain is not going to save you. You need to avoid the damage, and like if you take a little bit of damage, you can just heal up with um, with just life on hit. As far as paragons, I run strength. For my offense, I prioritize this way. Attack speed gets last priority. Defense, yeah, pretty self-explanatory. Life regen gets last priority. So that's kind of the setup I use. It's been successful so far. I'm gonna maybe make another video once the patch hits, and I've played around with the new GRs and kind of the new meta of the game. Not too much is going to be changed for Crusader. I don't think it's going to be pretty pretty same old as far as what builds are going to be on top. I think Pony Crusader is still going to remain on top. If that changes, I don't know. I just don't think it's going to change. In the current PTR, Pony Crusader for hardcore is top of the board. Just because Condemn just lacks single target damage, and now without conduits, it's just going to be too difficult for Condemn. Yeah. So this is just kind of yeah. I hope this benefits you guys that are playing Pony Crusader out there in hardcore. Gives you some idea of what I'm doing, and what most of the other top players that are at the top of the leaderboards are doing. And yeah, maybe this gave you a little bit of insight and helps you push a couple of GRs higher. All right, take care, guys.